Hey everybody, this is Mike. Just letting you know that this is going to be the sound is going to be a little different in this episode. We had to go off a Skype recording due to a couple of mistakes. And also, I wanted to give out I've been re-listening to episodes of the Is It Worth It podcast, which is on the Retro RPG podcast feed. And this is a filler show when Derek and Don aren't able to do their episodes. And it's run consistently by Blaine J., who reviews video games and discusses if they're worth their asking price on eBay. He's an avid collector, and he also works with a guest on this show, James Milholland. And they have been giving consistent shout-outs, just... letting everybody know that we're out there doing stuff. And I just wanted to return the favor. They are really cool dudes, really feel the love. I've been listening to a couple of episodes, and whenever I'm down, I just hear them talk about how nice my podcast is, and just like, ah, I'm gonna get all mushy inside. And anyway, just wanted to put that out there and enjoy the show.
Welcome to the Playing with Power podcast, the issue-by-issue retrospective about Nintendo Power magazine. You've tuned in for volume 57 from February of 1994. I am your host, Ben, and with me, as always, are my co-hosts, Mike.
Good morning.
And John.
Hi.
We're hopefully going to be joined by guest Richard Reeder whenever he can make it, due to timing constraints. We didn't have him at the top of the show. Just to buy us some time, I'll also talk about how you can reach us in between episodes right now. So if you'd like to reach out to the show, you can find us on Facebook.com/PlayingWithPowerPodcast. If you'd like to reach out to Mike on Twitter, he runs the @GetThePower88 handle. And if you'd like to listen to old episodes, you can just go to our website, PlayingWithPowerPodcast.com.
Reach out and touch Mike.
We also have a Patreon.
He can really use it.
If you'd like to sponsor the show, we also have a Patreon up and running. If you go to patreon.com/playingwithpower, you can donate a few dollars to the show and become a sponsor, which we would appreciate very much. And if you're unable to do that or have already done so, please go on iTunes and give us a rate and review. It helps the show get some more notoriety out there, and it's free advertising for us. All right, I think I covered all the bases there. Gentlemen, how are you doing? Recording on a fine Sunday.
I think John should go first because he celebrated a certain little thing recently.
Yeah, my birthday yesterday.
Woohoo! Yay, happy birthday.
Thank you.
So how old are you now?
Enough to party. 34. 34 this year, so
damn.
Catching up to you.
Yeah, I had a wonderful sleep last night, this morning, this afternoon, thanks to the wonderful Casper mattress. But I'm not going to tell you anything more about it because they are not sponsoring the show yet.
Nor will they ever.
No. I think our listeners need to tell about 2,000-3,000 friends about the show. Then maybe we can start getting some coverage here.
Maybe.
If we get a daycare to sponsor us, do I get kids sent to my house?
Do the kids in my trunk qualify me for the carpool lane?
That's pretty good, actually. All right, so we're looking at, on the front cover here, the title game is Bugs Bunny Rabbit Rampage.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got a nice illustration of Bugs Bunny, and there's a lot of paint cans being toppled over behind him. And for whatever reason, a giant pencil eraser erasing Bugs Bunny's hand.
Yeah, is there a dynamic in that game where you're creating the level or the level's created? Is there any art or anything that's generated
no, you're Bugs Bunny. You're being antagonized by the illustrator.
Oh,
so the pencil is creating hazards for you while you just try to survive. It's kind of like fighting God.
So it's like the Donald subreddit, and the pencil is all the cucks that get in their way. Is kind of what you're going for.
I have no idea what that means, but sure.
Yeah, apparently, if you care about people's feelings and dignity, then apparently you like to watch your wife get banged by other men. That's what the Trump supporter mentality is. Like, if you care about other people, then you probably aren't a man.
Well, I mean, you can enjoy both, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, what if you like watching your wife get plowed? You had a busy day. She's begging you for some sweet orgasms. You can't deliver because you're exhausted. All of a sudden, this guy comes over and he's just like, "Hey, man, I brought lasagna," and you're like, "Oh, fuck, this is great. Would you like anything? Well, can I bang your wife? Oh, thank you." And then then you get to watch your wife get banged. It's like a porno in your living room.
It's a small wonder why you're still single, Mike.
Yes, please tell us about the virtues of being subjugated by another man.
Well, you're not being subjugated. She is.
No.
The worst is when
you just get to watch.
she takes a load in her mouth and she comes over and kisses you. That's Mike's favorite part.
The snowball effect.
You know this lasagna needed a little salt. Thanks.
This went downhill real fast.
And welcome to Playing with Power.
Just like my wife.
Oh. Wow. All right.
Okay.
So yeah, lots of paint. Maybe he's into huffing paint. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, it has to do with the levels, I think. I mean, we'll get into the game once we get into it here. But
that would be great to figure out. That would be great to see Bugs is just in a store, and he's just like fucking plowing through a Rona's or a Lowe's, and he's just imagining he's being chased by an omniscient pencil.
What was that? What was that? That meme. It was like one of the first memes. It was the guy that had all the gold paint on his face. Remember that guy?
No.
No.
They caught him like breaking into a paint store, and it was like a mugshot, and his whole just freaking like it was like he had a glitter goatee. Who was that wrestler? Goldust? Was that the one?
Oh, it looked like he blew the Tin Man or something.
Yeah, it looked like he just eaten Goldust's salad or something.
he went down on King Midas.
So we do have a cool effect here, like where the pencil is kind of like erasing part of the cover.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's that. Let's move on the inside here. I think we've seen this commercial before where the baseball is shattered a window.
Yep.
Okay, get a friend into something besides trouble. So we've seen this one.
Yeah, so it's like indoctrinate your friends as part of the Nintendo Super Power Club.
Join us.
Do your gamer friends have properly lowered Thetan levels?
What? One of us. All right.
One of us.
And then we have like a
new
skateboarder. No, we've seen this before. I'm pretty sure.
No, is it? No.
Oh,
Yeah,
there was a snowboarder. Like, so they're continuing the alternative sports advertising scheme here.
Well, it's not like they're gay. I mean, this is extreme sports, isn't it?
Mine still has a snowboarder.
No,
mine
we
has
have a
Tony Hawk.
skateboarder. Yeah,
Oh.
well, yeah.
Is it Tony Hawk?
No, it's not Tony Hawk, but it
Really?
is.
Because he's kind of skinny and ugly.
Jesus.
So, yeah, it's like a photoshopped skateboarder on the edge of an empty swimming pool, and they've like photoshopped like Game Boy graffiti onto the sides of the pool, a Game Boy into his hand. So I don't know. Yeah, Ben got a different ad than we did, so that's interesting.
Yeah, I got the same one from last month with the
All right.
snowboarder.
Yeah, and the graffiti has
Yes.
the graffiti
I
has.
think Mike had a stroke, but it says "take it anywhere."
No, I just heard you talking really slow, like
Again,
and I'm like,
you had a stroke.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I had a stroke in my ears.
All right.
Okay, so we got the flaming graffiti saying Game Boy, and then the crazy street tag font on the other side saying "Take it anywhere."
Yep, which is what I just said. But all right.
Oh well, I didn't hear you because my computer fucked me.
All right. Let's
Just
move
like,
table
that, just like the guy in the Gip mask fucked your wife. All right.
Let's move on to the table of contents. So for Super Nintendo, we have Bugs Bunny Rabbit Rampage, Young Merlin, Skyblazer, Inspector Gadget, The Sports Scene, which is a bunch of sports games, Lester the Unlikely, and Choplifter 3. For Game Boy, we have Spider-Man and the X-Men and Arcade's Revenge, The Simpsons, Bart and the Beanstalk, and then for Nintendo, we have Zoda's Revenge, Star Tropics 2. And then we have
In
a
a
couple
comic, we'll have Metroid. Wasn't the last month's different? We didn't have a Metroid last month, did we? Or last week, or whatever.
We had a Mario Brothers one with Wario and getting presents for Peach.
So I guess they're not doing like the year like series anymore.
There's no continuity anymore. They're just doing one-off issues. I like it. Okay.
It was short. I like it. All right. Yeah. And then what we have, Dick Nose is must be cold in February because his nose is like, shrunk down. Mm-hmm. But he's battling his, what's the Astro Boy game-linked robot buddy going on here?
Yeah, he's totally electrocuting him somehow. And he's beating the crap out of him. So he's turned the tables now in their duels, and he's winning over the robot. Okay.
All right.
So, Player's Pulse. Next up here. Looks like they just got back into regular letters here, and they don't have the art as much here.
What is going on with the R in Player's Pulse?
It's made of butts. It must be peaches.
Yeah, it must be. So each letter is made out of different fruit, and there's a person holding up the fruit. So we got bananas for the P, strawberries for L. Yeah, and then we get down to R. It just looks like red asses, like red baboon asses.
We got mandrill. We got some mandrill taints over here.
And the watermelon has like an umbilical cord.
It's inflatable.
They've doubled up on bananas because they got lazy for the S.
Yep.
And they for some reason they switched to vegetables for Pulse. Because we got carrots, peas, tomatoes, which are technically a fruit, I guess, and eggplant and corn. Apparently the eggplant emoji is used 90% of the time to represent a penis based on like analytics that Apple did. So, I mean, that makes sense, I guess.
And we got that's why the guy's nervous with the end of the eggplant.
Yeah, it's right in his face.
The Bulbasaur is going right into his mouth, pretty much.
He's got a little bit of free cum on his cheek, too.
That eggplant's running a train on his face. All right. Let's get into the letters here. I'll start us off. J. Barton.
Wait. Are we not going to talk about the guy that's like super excited about the banana?
No, I haven't seen this. Oh,
right after the S in Players, he is like
down.
He is excited about a banana going into his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
really straight banana too. No curve.
And he has no lower teeth for
totally
some reason.
Erect banana.
Just upper teeth, no lower. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what's going on with him.
I don't know. Mike knows what that's like.
All right, Ben. Let's. You want the first?
Yeah. Jay Barton from Hiram, Utah says on the back cover of a few of the issues, it shows a Super NES and a block of ice. Did you really freeze a Super Nintendo? I'd love to know. And so they responded to him, Jay, the wonders of special effects and photographic tricks. The answer you're looking for is no. The block of ice is actually just a plastic shell. It is way cool, though, huh? So they've shattered the mystery.
So I think I mentioned that it was a shell. Like,
I think you did call it, yeah.
Yeah.
I
might have read this at some point.
Interesting.
There's no... Anyway. Mike's clicking away. Like, it's usually my thing. But all right. Second letter is from Ian Stalker of Carpenter, California. What actually is it? Carpinteria? Anyway, nerd alert. Here we go. If Mario Paint has 41,664 dots available, judging from page 112 of Mario Paint Player's Guide, and 15 different colors to choose from, then did you know that there are a total of 1 to the, I don't know, probably 30th or so different possible images to create on a single page? That's a lot, eh? I thought I'd tell you. So basically did like the algorithm of like 15 exponential to the 41,664. So yes, theoretically, like all the different pixels in all the different positions mean that there's almost an infinite amount of combinations To which they respond, thanks, Ian. That's certainly some useful information. Nerd.
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 All right.
Mike, get the next one
Mikey.
with the photo.
Okay, during the blizzard of 93, I built an igloo that you could stand in, but it didn't look much like an igloo, so I converted it into Dr. Wily's castle from Mega Man. From Joshua Spitz from Proctorville, Ohio, and oh my fuck, this is an awesome snow castle.
Snow penis, giant snow penis.
With a skull carved on it. It is friggin' amazing. That is awesome.
It is pretty good. But I don't know why you would make it to stand it. Like, literally all you could do is stand in that. Like, you would just stand up and you'd be facing snow, like, whichever way you turned.
I know.
It's got like a human-sized hole in it. So.
Okay. And then we have a long letter from Floyd Turner Jr. from
You know what that reminds me of, Ben?
What?
Was when we went on the ski trip with Scouts and Jay Tennyson went to the top of the mountain, and instead of skiing all day, he just built a snow fort at the top of the mountain and crawled in it.
No, he let a snot drip all over his fucking face. He said, Jay, use a tissue.
Natural.
Clean it up. It's natural. I'm like, dude, are you retarded or 5? You're 17 years old. Like,
and then we made fun of him at the pizza place, so he went and crammed all his pizza in the urinal, and they got mad at us.
no, they banned us.
Yeah,
Round Table Pizza in Springerville.
Yeah,
has banned us.
Our pictures are up on the wall. Yeah. We are urinal stuffers in their book.
Okay, Mike, this idea of you putting the mic behind the keyboard was a bad call. I'm going to tell you right now. All I'm hearing is keyboard. Oh, no.
All right, Ben, you want the next...
Yeah, I'll take the next one. Floyd Turner from Whiting, Indiana, says, I must tell you this. Although my case might be a rare and isolated instance, your game systems have truly saved my life. You see, I am a 34-year-old for almost 20 years. I was addicted to drugs and alcohol. 3 years ago, I went to a treatment center for help. A counselor told me I needed something to occupy my time with, so on a whim I bought an NES because my brother had an old Atari 5200 that I liked to play. The NES seemed superior. Well, that's all it took. I was instantly addicted again.
Oh, God.
But this time to video games. After a year, I bought the Super NES. Every spare penny and every free moment goes to my video games. I would advise anyone young or old, if you even thought about trying drugs, forget it. All of my game systems and game packs are a whole lot cheaper and bring much more pleasure than any drug. Also,
and I have to suck less dick for them.
Yes. Also,
now I just do it for pleasure.
Thanks, Floyd. Also, with drugs, when you die,
never let your passion become your job.
Anyway,
with drugs, when you die, that's it. The end. With my Nintendo systems, I can die 100 times a day, but I always just hit reset.
So he traded one crippling addiction for another.
Yay!
Good job, Floyd. No, but seriously,
see you in World of Warcraft rehab.
Good for him. Yeah, holy Christ, he found Warcraft. No, we never would have found him.
No, he'd be.
All right, and then the fine. I'll leave the picture to Mike. But I'll read the last letter here. Warning, warning. I was using an unlicensed product to clean my Super Nintendo, and I was shocked to find that it broke a contact where you put in the game pack. That's a lesson I won't soon forget. So, Mike Gallagher of Kingswood, Texarkana. So yeah, don't clean your Super Nintendo with unlicensed cleaning products is what they're trying to type there. So, you want to talk about the picture, Mike?
Oh yeah, we got Living in Mario's World. Kathy White from Pickering, Ontario sent in this photo of a bedroom that's straight out of Super Mario World. The whole room is painted this way. How would you like to wake up and find Bonsai Bill in your face every morning? And it is a perfectly rendered drawing of one of the first levels of Super Mario with a Koopa shell. The mountains in the background, the oblong clouds, the smiling clouds above.
How do you think they did that? Do you think they did a grid and mapped it out? I mean, I've seen people use like a projector to do it, where you just like pause the game and like trace, because that looks too good to be freehand. Like,
yeah, no, that's definitely good to be freehand.
They must have done a grid or a projector. But
lots of tape, I'm guessing.
So Except like one of the smiles in one of the clouds is like different on the far right. Anyway. And then they've channeled their inner David Letterman. They're now running a top 10 section apparently. So do we want to do a countdown style in honor of Letterman's show that's no longer around?
Let's do it.
All right. So top 10. We have them right here. Top 10 reasons for losing your life in a video game. Number 10, Ben?
I've never played this game before.
That's a good reason. Mike, you want number 9?
Okay. I've accidentally pressed the wrong button.
Wah, wah, wah. And coming in at number 8, my dog was playing with the cord and he unplugged it. Ooh, and Ben?
Number 7 is my little brother tried to snatch the controller from me.
Always blaming the siblings for your failures. All right, Mikey.
Someone walked in front of the TV and I couldn't see. Paul, has that ever happened to you? Has someone walked in front of the TV and you couldn't see anything?
Yeah.
You know I did, Dave.
Yeah, Dave. Usually it's a sadomasochistic video that I have on the TV, though. It's not a video game.
Yeah, don't you hate it when that guy in the Gimp mask, he just like breaks the scene and he walks in front of the TV, Paul? That happens to you a lot, doesn't it, Paul?
Yeah.
There is no snuff. All right. At number 5, I had to pause to answer the phone and it broke my concentration. What? Okay, whatever. All right. Ben?
The difficulty is set on impossible.
That's more like my dating life.
No.
All right, Mike, you want number 3?
It's my favorite level and I want to play again. It's my favorite level and I want to play through it again.
Yeah, Mike repeated it. All right. And number 2 reason for losing a life in a video game. Really? I'm just warming up. Right, Paul? All right. And Mikey. Whatever. Yeah. Whatever. My bad.
Take it away, Mike. Number 1. Reason for losing a life in a video game is...
The computer cheated!
Yes.
Pretty good. Right. Blame it on the computer. Those are all from Alex Fernandez of Victorville, California. So, we have the jet ski winner, Sean Roberts from Jacksonville, Florida, was selected as the grand prize winner from Volume 48. And let's see, Nintendo set him up with a Kawasaki TS transsexual jet ski and a full complement of safety gear. All that Sean had to do was send in his player's polo card, wait by the phone for us to call, and go down to local Kawasaki dealer to pick up his prizes. And since Sean's family lives on the banks of the St. Johns River, he doesn't have to go far in order to ride it. So, good for him.
They have a picture of him riding the jet ski, and they have a caption that's saying, "There aren't many waves in this inland body of water near Sean's home, but that's okay. Now he can make all the waves he wants."
All right, Ben, what's going on in Editor's Corner? Anything of note?
Let's see here. She's mainly talking about about the new Super Metroid comic series they have debuting in this issue, and they said the biggest concern was trying to figure out what Samus looks like without her helmet on. So they've all seen the best ending of the Metroid games, but it's hard to visualize facial features from that. So they finally came up something between Princess Leia and Ripley from the Alien series.
So they went with the happy ending. I like that.
Something John can respect.
All right. On to our game coverage. What do we have?
Bugs Bunny Rabbit Rampage from Looney Tunes. So it's a side-scrolling platformer that has really good graphics. It looks like the animated cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's got all the coverages here is about different episodes essentially. So that's kind of the story. I played this for about 5 minutes before getting stuck, and decided to quit it and rage quit it.
What'd you get stuck on? Was it the ROM that got you stuck, or?
Well, I mean, it starts off, and first of all, it doesn't let you skip past any kind of transition. So you're sitting there waiting for the first level load, and this either pencil or it's like a paintbrush comes along, and like maybe 10 pixels at a time, it's like swiping back and forth, unveiling the scene to you, and you're just sitting there for a good 20 seconds waiting for that thing to load. You see bugs, and then you're like, okay, can I play yet? And then like the title comes on and all this kind of stuff. You're like, that's great. Can I skip it and play? So I started off at the first level, which is the Wabbit Hunt. And you've just got all the odds stacked against you. So you can throw pies at people as Bugs Bunny. But they kind of just stun your opponent, and you have to be like right next to them for that to actually catch. And you can like kick, like a big like wind up ass kick, and that seems to be the only thing that you can actually eliminate enemies with. And there's dogs all over the place, or just stray bullets shooting at you from random directions with no apparent enemy in sight. And I couldn't figure out how to get up a ledge at a certain point, and I gave up.
Did you get to argue with Elmer Fudd that it was, or Daffy, that it was duck season or wabbit season?
Nope, didn't get that far.
That's gotta be one of my favorite interactions of like all Looney Tunes.
Yes, it's
like duck season, wabbit season, duck season, and he like switches it up on him. It's just such a simple. Anyway, sorry, Ben.
Also, do they have the Abominable Snowman in this one?
Didn't see him.
I see a snow level.
Yeah, that's the first level. I don't think he's in it though.
Oh my God, they got the bull. Oh, frig! That was one of my favorite cartoons where he faces off against the bull.
It's got a name. What's the bull's name?
Let's see here. Does the bull have a name?
Yeah, Toro. I think his name is Toro.
It just says the bull.
Looney Tunes. I'll look it up. Toro. Yeah, you're right.
Nailed it. Yeah, when he faces off against Toro, and he's got the red cape, and then he pulls the cape away, and the bull like crushes it, runs into the anvil. Or then when he's pissed off the bull so much, you see the bull. He's grinding his own horns against a stone sharpener, just ready to take out bugs. It's friggin' great.
I like the level. Like the level labels are all over the place. We've got like level 1.3, level 2001, level like exponent, like
that's funny.
Level 42.759%, like
level 2001.
Right.
Mech Rabbit is a fucking formula. 3 to the square root of x divided by y over c.
No, it's not 3 to the. It's x to the third root or whatever, or what is it? It's not square root. It's a cube root. So anyway, yeah, back to our. There's a lot of different. I mean, like we said, we have like a Cowboy Yosemite Sam level. We've got Taz in here in a Tasmania level. We've got Bugs in Space, which has the Marvin the Martian and the Instant Martians. Just add water. Some of my favorite characters. There's a level where you fight the champ Crusher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one was also great.
Mike's porn name. And I remember playing this game when I was a kid. Like, it's a fun game. I mean, it's one of the better Looney Tunes games, I would say. So, I don't know. Do you remember playing it at all, Mike?
Yep. I think I beat it, but it was a long time ago, so I can't really say for sure. I'd have to play it again. Although I don't think that would be too much of a labor. I mean, all these levels is just taking me back to the good old cartoons, and the graphics here are top notch. So
the graphics are very nice, very true to the original cartoons.
Anything else to say about Bugs Bunny Rabbit Rampage?
Not a whole lot, no.
We got a good screenshot during the Wabbit Wilds fighting Wile E. Coyote, where it looks like you're fighting Bugs is attacked by 2 robots, and you just get to see his skeleton, and his skeleton's still holding a carrot, or he has an orange penis.
Nice. Okay, so it says it's on all folks, and they tease a level with Sylvester, Pepe Le Pew, and the master disguise Daffy Duck. So you can
Yeah,
see
so Sylvester Sylvester is hitting Bugs. Like, you can see Bugs thoroughly caught up in the cowcatcher, and he's just got that look on his face, like, like he's only just realizing something's going wrong when his legs have already been taken off by a train. And then it shows him exposing his taint to Duck Dodgers in the next one. He's just got his leg up in the air while Daffy's looking straight into his asshole.
Lovely. Okay, so the next game is Young Merlin. So this is basically, it's Merlin as a young boy. It's an action RPG that I think is geared towards children. It seems it's not dark. It's very pleasant and friendly and sort of easy to follow and easy to get along with. So it's enjoyable. It's like if you were playing, if you thought A Link to the Past was too dark for you and you wanted something more lighthearted, Young Merlin would be a good pick. So they've got a list of all the pitfalls you come across or areas. It's got a map here. So they have like Meanie Tree number 1, where you have to throw stars at it. You have to get your powers from Rainbow Falls. You have
that was John's first gay bar.
Yeah. You have to fight Thunder Pig to get past him, and you can use stun
that's where
dust on
John
him and shooting
Thunder
stars.
Thunder Pig is where John moved after Rainbow Falls closed down.
Wow.
Yeah, towards the end of the area, you go through the Rainbow Gate. Well, I mean, there's like a heart tree. There's another Meanie Tree. Chimes Pond.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
These
Wasn't
are all,
Young Mer-
these are all San Francisco hotspots.
Wasn't Young Merlin a show on BBC for a while?
I
Seems
think
like
it was just called Merlin.
Merlin. It was good though. I liked it.
I don't know. I watched like most of the first season of that, and I just could not get past how they cast Guinevere. I mean, like the chick was okay, but like in the books and everything, she's supposed to be like the most beautiful thing ever. And I'm like, chick's like a 6, maybe. I'm like,
so.
I'm sorry, like it's not what sign up for in the Arthurian tales.
All I remember is the ads for the show where they're like, "If I don't have magic, what have I got?" And it was like, that was pretty much the only.
I've got teeth. Stick it out every which way.
So yeah, you're right. It's pretty much like a Zelda clone.
Simple version of it. It's like a simple kids version of it, essentially.
Yeah, featuring a lot of hedge mazes.
So that's just the first area, and then they go through different stages or areas. This is the coal mine, where you got to find different things in the coal mine and walk to the exit. It's kind of like a maze. And you have a literal hedge mage.
Do you bring the jobs back to the coal mine if you win?
You also give them a black lung too.
And
then you don't give them health care to fix the black lung.
Make Albion great again.
Yeah, that's what I was. God damn it! I was trying to think of the name of it. Anyway,
There's an undersea level. There's a cave herring.
So is this kid from the future? Because he seems to be wearing like 80s style clothing while everyone else is dressed like peasants.
So like he wearing 80s clothing?
He's got like red leather pants. He's got red leather pants, a black vest on. I mean, he just doesn't look.
Just because he looks like something out of the Goonies doesn't mean he's in the 80s.
He's a wizard, Mikey.
You're a wizard, Harry. Anyway.
So if it's a train car level, there's another. You have to go ride down Rainbow Falls again.
Oh my God! Number 8, give a gift. Cassiolari is a lonely wizard who could use a pet.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Luke.
Anyway, I don't trust him. The old dude living in the forest looking for kids to come and give him presents.
He is real lonely. So, anyways, it seems like an enjoyable game, but it's not. It's not one I would recommend for anyone over the age of like 10.
Go play Zelda instead.
Yeah.
All right.
Next game we have is Skyblazer.
Oh, where's Brandon where you need him?
Skyblazer is a platforming game, platforming action game that feels like a cross between Prince of Persia.
Looks like ActRaiser a bit.
And yeah, ActRaiser. It's sort of like a Arabian-styled or Persian-styled platforming action game.
They probably can't like import this anymore with the new president. What's going on?
Let's just say the carts get detained at the airport.
If they don't get kicked, if they don't get beat up and pulled off the plane.
No, that you'd have to be an elderly Asian gentleman for that to happen.
Yeah, that would be more like Miyamoto. That dude got a concussion and his teeth knocked out, and it was just funny. Like poor old Asian like doctor gets his fucking teeth knocked out in a concussion. We're like, yeah, you got shit kicked out of you. It's funny.
Well, he had it coming because he was sucking dick for oxycodone.
yeah, that was the other thing. They went into his past and like found that shit. So
well, now he can give better head without those teeth in the way.
Nice.
You'd know it.
So,
all right. Why is the third island so fucking small?
Oh, I don't know.
It's weird.
Anyways, I only played this game for about 15 minutes, but it's good.
Who are these evil Dr. Claw wizard things?
Where you looking at?
I swear it's like Genghis Khan and Inspector Gadget and Inspector Gadget's enemy merged with Apocalypse.
I'll catch you next time, Gadget. Next time.
You looking at Ashura?
You're looking at like a weird like pharaoh, like mecha pharaoh character thing.
Oh, in the art?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the guy
totally
each guy has each guy has 3 beards.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening with that.
I've never seen dreadlock beards before.
This is one of those cases where the art totally does not match the game. Like at all.
You fly around as the character, right? Like, do you have to gain the ability to fly?
You can't fly.
Why is there? It looks like you're flying in like the page 27 on the left.
7 on the left. Oh, I never got that far. It looks like there's like a mode 7 view.
Yeah.
Unless you're falling.
That's cool.
It looks like a lot of
you're flying
in the sky. The platforming is like in the sky too, but there's like. Oh.
I was gonna say you can't really fly while you're platforming. You're just jumping.
The way he's jumping with his arms out extended, he's like little Nemo. He's just so full of joy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it seemed like a fun game. I got through about 15 minutes of it.
Yeah, played all right.
Yeah, it was enjoyable. I'd go back and play it.
I like how they explain the lack of tactility for the woods. It says if Sky finds himself treed, the leaves and branches will break his fall, but they won't hold him up. It's almost as if he sinks through the trees.
Mm-hmm.
So, actually, I thought he just completely fell through the trees. But you fall slowly through the trees, so that's kind of neat. That's good, actually.
Yeah, so there's different levels where you are literally flying in the sky, platforming. You're flying into mode 7. What we have here?
Yep.
There's a temple with fire.
That's some pilot wing shit up there.
Yep.
It's just like gathering gems, flying through rings of spike balls.
And they show us a feature on the spinning armored eyeball, where the giant sort of
that does not look like a fun boss to fight. That looks pretty brutal.
Crustacean-looking boss. It basically gets bigger and smaller using mode 7.
When the eye gets large, just crouch down in the left corner to avoid the spikes. They will miss you.
Yeah.
So
that's good. There's a safe spot.
So, and then the more bosses that they don't cover is like Mike's dating life. We have the rotating wall of glory hole, and Dar they blow.
Oh my god, that thing is like a walking glory hole. You're right.
Well,
it's like it's just
underwater level. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There she blow.
That's actually a really cool boss. He's like in panels of ice or water like coming out of them, but he's also in a wall, and then the whole wall rotates. That's pretty cool, actually. There They Blow, that looks like a Mega Man level where you're just standing on platforms.
It's the Donald Trump game. Like, one of the bosses is literally a wall.
Nice.
Uh,
The
Anyway.
whatchamacallit, this boss looks like a cross between a dragon, a rhino, an elephant, and a Ninja Turtle. Whatever it
Jesus
is,
Christ.
all you have to do is nail it in the snout.
Watch out for the
apples, whatever the hell that means.
That's gotta be like one of the weirdest paragraphs in like the history of Nintendo Power.
So you use the Mode 7 graphics to fly in between the islands. That's what it is.
Oh,
Yeah, that is just so good. Like, you're just freaking using that pig as your own personal sex vacuum.
Okay, so that's Sky Blazer. Anything else to say about that one?
No, next.
Okay. Next game is Inspector Gadget.
from Hudson Soft.
And I could not figure out how to get past the first in this game.
That's not a good sign. I have a major problem just in like as a connoisseur of the cartoon growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Why the whole point of the show is that Penny and Brain like figure everything out so that like Gadget can bumble his way through whatever situation, you know?
Yeah, he's essentially retarded. Like,
Right.
Yes.
you
So,
should have played. Yeah, you should have played Penny.
Yeah.
And Gadget would be like this lemming that you have
Right.
to protect from fatal injury by like either throwing a power up his way so that he can overcome a spike pit. Like, you guide him rather than you are him.
But instead, you're Gadget and like Penny and Brain have been kidnapped is like the whole
Right.
So the first level is him dying miserably like the fuck up he is.
to give like Colossus and credit, at least he figured out that Penny and the Brain are like the brains behind like Gadget's success here.
Yeah.
So,
But then Gadget should have fucking failed miserably and get a new sidekick, or go back to school and actually learn how to use all this shit that's in his body.
Penny gets sold off into like the global sex trade.
Now you listen here, buddy. I have a very particular set of gadgets.
Well, the irony of Penny getting kidnapped is Gadget's just literally standing around in his kitchen waiting to get a mission. And the mission is, surprise, go rescue Penny and the dog.
He has to be told by
Yes.
then that his family's missing.
He has
Oh my
to be
God, this
given
guy's
a
so
mission to go do
functionally-
it.
This guy is so stupid. He's like, hey, Gadget, your family's been kidnapped. What?
Yeah.
It's like you didn't wake up and realize, hey, everybody's gone. Maybe my 8-year-old daughter went to work. My 8-year-old
Basically,
niece
Gadget
went to work.
is effectively like Kevin McAllister from the start of Home Alone.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So they give you a bunch of gadgets to use, and you can find gadgets. So like the very first obstacle was you had to get a gadget that like let a spring hand come out of your hat and grab upwards. And I just couldn't figure out how to make it go more than one rung. So I couldn't make it over to a ledge.
Oh.
And like he also shoots out plungers, and I was like, okay, maybe I have to throw the plunger against the wall, jump on that, then I can jump on it. But no, the plunger kind of disappears very quickly, even though you can step on it for a very brief moment. So it was just like a tease of like actually being able to play the game. So I gave up on this after 10 minutes of trying this madness.
Okay, we're looking at a picture here of Inspector Gadget with a mallet, which could not have fit into his skull, but somehow is yet coming out of it, along with, again, an oversized propeller. But the most interesting thing, and I think the most practical thing he's got, is the garrote necktie, which would really be great for sneaking up on enemies and just choking them from behind.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if Gadget was an assassin, that would make this thing a whole lot more respectable.
I hear he killed David Carradine.
He just hid in his closet, threw the towel overboard, and there you go.
He had to jerk him off at the same time, though. It was, I don't know what the deal was.
Well, he felt a little guilty about it, so he wanted
dildo.
Yeah, and he's
Anyway.
got skis on, and then a giant propeller on his back. But this looks like a regular desk fan.
Yeah. So
So they're going through the different levels here. Stage 1 is the haunted castle. So it's got limited lighting or something around here. and the whole level rotates behind platforms. It looks like using mode.
Yeah,
7.
a lot of these stages look a lot like Super Mario World stages.
Yeah,
like the forest ones look a lot like when Mario's in like the forest areas, obviously. And I don't know, just look. It's like Gadget in Super Mario World is what it kind of feels like to me. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, that's about right. Next stage is a clock tower stage. You got like swinging pendulums of death and clocks that fly and shoot things at you. And what's this? The Amazon? So Dr. Claw only fights you while not looking at you. You just see the back of his chair. Is that the deal?
I guess. I don't. Yeah, well, I mean, that's normal for Dr. Claw, right? You're not supposed to see him.
True. I just think it's funny the way that they did that was for Dr. Claw to actually come out there himself and you just see the back of the chair.
No, you think that you would have it so that you're facing things from Claw's terminal and Gadget has to like throw things back at the terminal or back at Claw's face.
That was my biggest beef when I saw like the posters for like the live action movie.
Oh, with Matthew Broderick or whatever?
It was Matthew Broderick, and then they just showed Dr. Claw, like full face up there and everything. I'm like,
oh no.
Ruined it for me.
Yeah, not even a big reveal at the end.
Yeah, then we got the ancient Incan ruins down here, where apparently Claw spins around. And you can see like his fist sticking out as he's like brandishing against Gadget.
Are we in the spinning claw? I see left, left, top, and right. So looks like he's got 3 fists.
I can't tell. It's all dark. The print is very dark. But I love, you guys will love this part, though, here, where it talks about Gadget taking on the Shaft on page 33 there.
Yeah. And then we got spinning claw, which looks like the...
Resner's from Super Mario
Resner's,
World.
yeah, Super Mario, or Trent Resner's. So...
Well, yeah, because you gotta love Miyamoto. He just throws music into everything. So, yeah, you're facing the 9-inch nails in Super Mario World, but they're Triceratops.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 3 of them, and they have 3 horns, so I guess they're 9 with their inch-long nails on their head. It all works. Yay.
Half-Life 3 confirmed. All right. Stage 5, the Egyptian Pyramid. And then
this is fucking hilarious with Dr. Claw and the Pharaoh, but he's in the cockpit of the Pharaoh, but instead of facing you, he's just he's just facing like the wall. It's like he's that shy.
Yeah, it's so weird.
He doesn't even want to look at you.
And then the final stage, you take on Dr. Claw in his hideout. End up going face to face with him.
And on the margin art, we see Penny and Brain helping Inspector Gadget find his asshole from his elbow. But
I think Penny's like elbow deep in his.
You don't want to know where his left arm is. Her left arm is.
Penny is Asian in this one, and like they're supposed to be missing, but he's so inept that they have to escape to help him find them to rescue them.
And Brain's like kind of looking at her like, no, you sniff it, you don't fist it.
No, you got it all wrong.
So yeah, and then
he looks like angry about what she's finding in his ass.
Yeah, right. Anyway, Jesus
Christ!
Christ.
Wait a second, I didn't smell that. Where did that come from?
So the back of the poster is like stage maps, right? Okay.
Yep, and then we got Gadget going all wonky with his limbs. He's like, apparently he's like summiting Everest or something. Like he's planting a flag with a chicken on it. Like,
yeah,
he's just like, this is just full blown stupid right now. Like,
he's a goof.
Yeah, he's kind of got like the Oscar Pistorius game going on there a little bit.
Well, he's not shooting anybody through a bathroom door, so.
Anyway, all right.
Anyway,
so before we get on to the last poster here,
there's the last one.
There's something for Mike to mine out of this. All right.
Well, no, he's got this satellite dish on his ear, but his mouth for some reason looks like a keyhole. Which, again, please someone make sense of this.
Nope. All right.
All right. So before we get into the poster here, which is glorious, we'll get to a second. Now's as good a time as any to introduce our pop-in guest, Rich Reeder. Welcome to the program.
How's it going?
Long time no see. I think you were our first guest on the show.
Yeah, way back when. That's right. That was
Way back-
that was a long night, as I remember.
Crack shooting. Yeah.
Yeah, glad
We
to be
just
back.
reposted that episode actually as a retrospective last week, I want to say. So anyways, welcome. I know you guys had done a podcast together, and you had some changes in your life, so that didn't necessarily continue as a result. But I hear that you've got a new podcast coming out now. Is that right?
Hopefully soon. I'm still waiting on a couple pieces to come together. I'm working in collaboration with some outside help to try and make it a little more than what I had before, and try and make it a little more fancy, a little more fun, as well as I have an actual kind of podcasting rig kind of going now here with a bunch of different actual equipment. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to bring something new to my new podcast and have some fun.
It's fancy.
Okay, and what's the name of it?
It's going to be the Pop Chatter Podcast.
Nice.
Yeah, and we're just
Right on.
going to talk about pop culture and pretty much anything and everything that I want to talk about. Some episodes will be kind of just news and discussing of recent events or movie or TV reviews or whatever we kind of feel like, and others will be more focused on a specific topic of our own imagining. Top lists, bottom lists, sideways lists. We like it. We go all over.
Mike has a lot of bottom lists and top lists, but that's his dating profile.
So
How's that?
on a completely unrelated note, is there any chance to revive Technobabble, or was that just like quietly executed in an alley somewhere?
I wouldn't say alley so much as like it's somewhere off in the Twilight Zone now.
It got wished away to the cornfield.
You're gonna see it on the side of a milk carton, like Mike's last victim.
Have you seen Technobabble last seen wandering around shirtless in the desert?
No, you're not going to be shirtless. Don't worry. You can have the Technobabble sweater that I have.
It's only slightly infested with bed bugs. Anyway. All right. So what's the poster? This is actually a pretty cool poster.
Super Metroid.
Yeah. What do we have going on?
Sam-
What do we have going on?
Samus has destroyed a purple cement wall, and there's rebar sticking out of the bottom.
Suck on that Kool-Aid, man.
And she's posing on one knee with her blaster in the air with the what do you call it? Smoke.
Yeah. If it's in
Walking away.
space, shouldn't there like not be smoke? Like, isn't that the whole point?
Well, she's not shooting an asteroid in space. She's on a planet.
And if you look at
It's not a planet, it's
the
sort of-
moon in the back too, it's got like weird, like triangulation of like things going on, all the lines.
Well-
It's kind of like there's like cities on it, and it's like
Yeah.
connected with
It's
like
like-
interstates full of like really
Or it's
bright
like
cars.
cracks, or it's
Yeah.
cracks and it's
Right.
about to blow up maybe or something.
And you know how
That's a
and you know how much Richard likes to talk about cracks.
Yes, I do. You know me so well.
I do want to.
He likes to shoot them or
wanna
look
mention-
at them. You know, just Rich is all about crack.
Say no to crack, kids.
I just want to bring attention to a second that Samus has a watch
Yeah.
on her. It's giant.
It could be like a
Watch
It could be like
built
a
into the armor.
pressure gauge or something, maybe as well.
Oh, maybe. If that was the case, I would have expected to only see one hand.
Yeah.
But instead, I see the hour and the minute hand,
Yeah,
and I'm just like,
Amount to the
it's a
air.
fucking watch.
because your heads-up display doesn't show you enough, you actually need a wristwatch built into the armor.
And then it won't have a digital number.
It could be for the air, because if you think about it, if you're going to take it to a reality-based process of trying to come up with the look, feel, and actual engineering of this, if they went that far, and it's Nintendo, so they might have. If you think about it, if your suit goes down, like say your heads-up display stops working, you want to know in analog form exactly how much air you have left.
Yeah, they have thought this
So,
through. Like,
What's the
yeah.
second needle?
You think about it like that, in how people in this universe would actually design this suit, that would kind of be a good idea.
What I want to know.
They were giving them too much credit.
So like,
I think it's a
the
watch.
boot
Not
is
reading too much into it.
the boot.
There's two hands.
The shoe or boot or whatever looks like it's like a solid one like solid boot, but somehow like as she's crouching, her right like foot is arched, so like it's somehow like articulated with that like, but it looks like it has a solid like sole. Because otherwise, if you were walking around, you're like your toe would be pointing straight up in the air when you put your heel down. Like I don't know what's going on with this right shoe here. Somehow it can bend even though it looks like it's solid. I don't know. It's like magic.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just all made out of rubber or something.
You go make a spacesuit out of
latex
You go
suit.
make a spacesuit out of rubber. See how that goes, Ben.
Samus only wears latex. We all know this.
Anyway. All right, that's enough overthinking for today. I would say, right?
I think she just
Okay,
cleared out a
let's-
room and now she's taking a deuce.
All right, let's move on to the underthinking portion where Lucy Ball brings us through the sports scene. John, take it on.
So
out
the first game we have here, there's two winter games. One is called Winter Extreme Skiing and Snowboarding for Electro Brain. And so that's like a mode 7. Let's see, they have a bunch of different modes. Like we got downhill, competition trainings, giant slalom and slalom. Skiers and snowboarders will appreciate the reality of the graphics. And so it looks like they mapped like a resort into the game. So that's kind of cool. It's really like obviously they've like crammed the licensing in because we've got a picture of the gates from the like snowboarding slalom mode or whatever. And what's that? Is it Fila? What shoe brand is that? There's like the F with the
Fila, isn't it?
yeah.
Fubu?
No, it wasn't Fubu.
It's Fila.
Yeah, I haven't seen that logo in like 20 years, but it like I remembered it from. But anyway, you know, it looks decent for a skiing game. It's obviously they're hitting the because it's the February '94 is when Lilyhammer Winter Games happens, as we'll see in the next game. But yeah, so they're striking the iron while it's hot. They want a ski game right around the Olympic release, which is smart. So, like I said, the second game, U.S. Gold Winter Olympic Games. Up to 4 players can complete alternating turns in individual events or the full Olympic schedule. I think I rented this game at some point from Blockbuster, and they had a bunch of different modes. There was, let's see if they say what they all are. I don't really remember. Did they go through? Yeah, because there's I remember the shooting mode there that's on page 37. There's some skiing modes. There's a luge, bobsled kind of
That looks
course.
amazing.
Yeah,
Like, I'm actually surprised. That looks quite a bit like the graphics look quite a bit better than they should actually.
right. There's also ski jumping and a few other modes. Unfortunately, with a lot of games like this, they're kind of rushed to production because they're kind of like, oh crap, we need like a Olympic sports game. So like, the controls were never all that great, but it was kind of fun, that like the mode where you like take yourself through the Olympics, like you were competing with every sport somehow in like a hypothetical Olympics, is it's still kind of fun.
I'm looking at the biathlon, and they're not doing a great job of selling it, saying the biathlon competition at Berg-Benerin has rather awkward controls. Aiming at targets is difficult.
Yeah, and that's actually my recollection of the game was that it was some of the modes were actually very difficult to control, unfortunately. So
Well, and that sounds unfortunate because the screenshots actually make it look quite compelling.
I like
Yeah.
the screen. Yeah.
The luge one of just the one guy going down on the same page as Mike was just talking about, whatever, 30 something. Anyway,
I wasn't talking about 30 Rock.
The guy actually looks like he's going really fast, and I don't know if it's the blur or if they actually like kind of had in the game like it just feels like the colors are streaking a little bit, like he actually looks like he's got
Yeah.
and you know what I mean?
The game looked good.
We're streaking.
The game looked really good. I remember being very impressed by whoever did this. Like it you know, like the visual appeal of it was there. It was like definitely enough for me to rent it from Blockbuster and then get angry at it.
And then you've got NSYNC on the mountain about to do a music video dancing there.
Right.
Stacked against computer or human opponents, and they look like they're just about to they're like dancing in synchronization there.
Yeah, that's the start of the speed skating round. So you can channel your inner Apollo Anton Ono. And let's see, and then
your inner Joey Fatone. But you look at the screenshot above, and it's nice to see that they're even including chimps in the skiing.
Yeah, it's true.
right, that's the moguls skiing mode. They have a bunch of the jumps and stuff, and then they caught it weird, like mid animation.
You can build style points by jumping different ways.
But really, you look at that screenshot. What does that head look like to you?
A chimp. You're right. So
Yeah, it's not. You're not
and
wrong.
speaking of
George.
chimps, we have Riddick Bowe bounces back.
Oh, you fuck.
Ah!
Oh,
All right.
oh my God.
Anyway,
No
so-
wonder this podcast doesn't get aired in Africa.
I'd like to thank every one of our listeners for tuning in. This will be our last episode.
I channel my inner Howard Cosell. You've heard that, right? Like why he got bounced from the air finally? He was calling a Monday Night Football game, and he went, "Look at that little monkey run!" Because he's fucking drunk off his ass in the booth. So yeah. Anyway, so we have
And then Marge Schott being an asshole, and then John Rocker. It's nice to know that,
there's like a rich tradition of racism in American sports. So
yeah, all the beginning from Ty Cobb all the way till modern day.
yeah, Ty Cobb literally went into the stands and tried to choke a guy out because the guy called him a nigger lover. Like, yeah, like he's an absolutely despicable person.
How dare you think I have an unqualified love for all humans?
Yeah,
How fucking dare you accuse me of caring about people equally? I must avenge this dispersion, good sir.
Ty Cobb's one of the worst people in the history of American sports, and he's in the Hall of Fame. But no, we can't let Barry Bonds or Pete Rose in. Well, why not?
Nope.
Anyway.
It was besmirched the honor.
All right, so yeah, it looks like a pretty generic kind of arcadey boxing.
Yeah, this looks like Rock'em Sock'em with people.
It's kind of odd though, because there's a little view of like the position in the ring in the top of the screen, and then like it's zoomed in like arcade style, like really close into the like the two people that are boxing against each other. So
It's bizarre.
yeah, I don't know. I don't remember ever playing it. Can't really say much about it, but so. What else we have?
Well, hold on. In the article, it also has Riddick Bowe himself playing the game, controlling himself.
And he's
with a
rocking
referee.
the Fila shirt, so there we go. There's your proof that Fila was a brand in the 90s.
Yep, and it says, what does Riddick Bowe think of his video namesake? Says Riddick, he has killer jabs, just like me. The main difference is that he doesn't have my gorgeous smile or charming personality. Yeah. And they said they worked with Extreme at all stages of development. They took the time to listen to what I thought would simulate the true boxing experience. And what about the heavyweights tips for players? You don't want to rush into competing against boxers with much better skills. But remember, you want to keep challenging your boxer and practice, practice, practice. When I asked him what's next, he said he's getting back into training and look out because he's going to be better than ever before. John, you follow sports. Did he follow up on this promise or did he pull a Ronda Rousey?
Riddick Bowe... Hey, don't hate on Ronda, but
I love Ronda, except she, it's not fair that she got the crap beaten out of her twice in a row.
yeah,
It's not fair. I mean, she's got a pretty face. Too bad they fucked it up, but she's a good chick. I like her.
So he competed until 1996, and then again from 2004 to 2008. So he did make a comeback to some degree. So
So he's been here for years. It wasn't really a comeback then.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, okay.
Don't call it a comeback.
Anyway, so then we go moving on into Richard's territory here. We've got Brett Hull Hockey, which is an unlicensed NHL game, featuring the namesake of Brett Hull at this point, I believe, is on the Blues, so they can't have the teams or player likenesses. But somehow they did land Al Michaels as like the commentary for the game, so that's kind of interesting. So Al Michaels obviously known for his "Do you believe in miracles?" yes call of the 1980 Olympics in Lake Placid. So, it looks like a pretty mediocre copy of the EA. Whoa, you there? What's going on?
Oh yeah, I'm just looking at the ad for the Super Hook 1000 hockey stick.
Yeah, I was gonna get there. But so yeah, they're on the page. They have if you want to get your hooking skills down, get the Super Hook 1000 hockey stick that is designed for the implicit purpose of taking down your opponent, making your hooking game easier. Endorsed by the Meat Packers Local 2012. Made from titanium alloy and Canadian moose glands.
That way. What? That should be their tagline. Get your hooking game straight.
Clear heels and a boa scarf ain't gonna cut it anymore.
Yeah. Sorry, Hulk Hogan.
So instead
made
of
from triallium alloy. What the hell is triallium? I thought it would be trillium alloy because that's the flag of Ontario. That's the flower of Ontario. But I don't know what triallium is.
So on the downside, Acolyte didn't include name recognition for players except for Brett Hull. Instead, Michaels calls the plays by numbers. Something seems to be missing when you hear number 5 shoots, he scores. So I would probably skip this one. And another hockey game to skip, Jaleco, who makes the excellent Super Bases Loaded baseball series, has come out with Pro Sport Hockey, which they do say is a little bit simpler to pick up than NHL Hockey or NHL 94 or Stanley Cup or Brett Hull Hockey. So if you want to just try out a hockey game, this one might be one to start with. They have a nice little chart here that goes through all the games, as far as whether there's licensing.
You said Brett Hull wasn't licensed, but it says it was.
It says NHLPA, but it's saying in here that, in the article, it's talking about how he doesn't call it the players by name. So I don't know. It doesn't have the NHL license, so no actual team logos can be shown. But it does include correct players and team names. So I was wrong. So they have the cities and the players, but not the logos. I guess that's it. So that's still a little bit better, I guess. But for some reason they didn't call the players by name; they go by number, which that's kind of bullshit. They do have an insert here for Pro Sport Hockey, like Mike's dating life. There's a minor penalty. Anyway, so
20 is legal in Canada.
So yeah, but there's a chart here that goes battery saves, number of teams, whether there's instant replay, if there's fighting, whether there's a full season mode, number of players, whether you can play 2 versus the computer, whether there's line changes, whether you can modify the season, if there's a playoff mode, and the respective licensing. So NHL, Stanley Cup, and NHL 94 are the only one with the NHL licenses. Let's see. Playoffs, line changes.
Yeah. Brett Hull Hockey is the only one that has variable seasons. Oh wait,
that's not really
NHL's.
a mode that that's not going to sell me on a game that I can modify the parameters of the season. But
it doesn't really strike it as a good selling point. How are they going to boast that? To everything there is a season.
Super Slapshot has 32 teams, which was more than the league had at the time, so they were inventing some teams. So we have that going for us, and. Both of the NHL licensed games do not have fighting, but all of the NHLPA games have fighting, so whatever that says. Anyway.
How did you even get one of the ones without fighting?
Well, those are the only ones that are NHL licensed, at least. So.
But if there's no fighting.
That's pretty good. I guess you have to pick or choose here. It's kind of like Sophie's Choice. So.
Obviously, maybe if you're an American hockey fan.
So wait a second. So
there aren't any hockey fans here, Mike. that's like a Sasquatch. Doesn't exist. Hockey fan in America.
Yeah. Have you ever been
right. You're a fan of that football game where you don't actually hit your where you don't actually like kick the ball around with your foot. Yeah.
Yeah, you mean hand egg.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, Rich.
Gridiron.
Sorry, Richard. What were you saying?
You were saying that the NHL Stanley Cup and NHL '94 are the only two that are NHL licensed, but
Right.
then why is the other one called NHLPA '93?
That's NHLPA
Players
is
Association.
Players Associations. That means they have the players' likenesses, but not the logos.
Oh yeah.
Because
okay,
the
that's
PA
right.
is like the PA is the union that represents the players. The NHL is the actual league.
The gaming was in such early stage still for sports games that there was like contractual agreements where they were like, no, we're gonna make our own game without
Yes,
the NHL.
and it got really weird. Like Michael Jordan had his after about this point in time had his own like licensing thing going on. So like you would buy NBA games and like he wouldn't be in them. It would just have like some generic guy on like the Bulls. And
everyone's
Barry
favorite
Bonds-
player, number 22.
Michael Morton.
Yeah.
Steven Jackson. Yeah.
But and then Barry Bonds wasn't in some of the baseball games into the early late 90s, early 2000s, and then the baseball strike that happened around now messed it up even more because there were a bunch of players that crossed the pickets and they were kind of like called scab players or whatever, and a few of them actually made it onto major league rosters after the strike. Teams like signed minor league deals and they were good enough to make the teams eventually. So like. There was a catcher for the Diamondbacks whose name was Damian Miller, and because he'd crossed the strike line, any subsequent video game that was made, like the players union, like wouldn't allow him to be included in any of the games. So like none of like he
Wow.
yeah it's like the licensing stuff with these games gets like super weird. It's like another there was a lawsuit with the NCAA college games where a bunch of former players sued because like they were saying their likeness was being used in games without compensation for them, and they actually won. So like you haven't seen a NCAA.
When was this?
About 2010 or so.
Okay,
There was
I was gonna say it'd be really funny if that was in like the Super Nintendo days or something, because anybody could be like, yeah, that's me. That's
Right.
my likeness they're using.
No, it was more like, like, hey, it didn't even look that much like him because we're talking about like, at best like decent 360 graphics, but
Yeah.
still, because of just it was the same number, same height, same like all the stats for the players were the same sort of thing. They were the court ruled in their favor. So
Has anybody here actually played any of the hockey games?
I played the NHL '94, like the EA version back in the day. That they will always be the most fun for me, just because. In fact, like '93 and '94 probably are the two best hockey games of all time, in my opinion. Like, after this, you get into the like early PlayStation like 3D render kind of games, and they just aren't as good.
I was always very partial to, I think it was Mario Lemieux hockey on the Genesis. That was that was my introduction to hockey for gaming.
Right.
And I
Any
think I
of the
tried
top down
to
ones.
that,
Yeah.
but that was my first one.
Any of the top down like 2D hockey games, just they play better. I mean, yeah, I'm sure some of the more recent ones are decent, but it just like ease of pick up and play of the 2D top down is
You can't play them like the new ones now. Are you kidding?
yeah, it's super hard.
Now it's impossible.
Well, yeah.
I bought my girlfriend NHL 2016 or 2017 when we got our PlayStation 4.
Right.
And she played it for like 10 minutes and she was like, nope, this is too complicated. So I was like, as a seasoned pro, I take that challenge, and I tried it, and it's bloody fucking impossible.
Right. Yeah, like Madden, like I used to play the shit out of Madden, and I go rent it every year or two now, and I'm just like, they have like special like catch controls and stuff. Like they bought into the whole tournament players thing where like they want to make it more complex, which is great for like the top end players, but like for people that just like to casually pick up a game of Madden and play their friends like maybe a few times a year, like
They should at least have. They should have like a simple mode.
Right.
Just call it simple mode. Make everybody feel good.
A John mode.
The last sports games I was playing were the 2K series, and that was it. So
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's nothing like playing an old school hockey game, like from when you could actually play it.
Right. So, continuing on the coverage, we have a Sports Illustrated. Interesting game in that it's baseball and football in one game. So, theoretically, grandparents were all over this action because they're like, oh, 2 sports in one. Just what little Jimmy wants. And then little Jimmy...
How can it be a Sports Illustrated game without a model on the cover?
That's only one issue of the year. The rest of it's just a regular sports magazine. But...
well, it goes to show off, and I glance at it at the magazine.
Right,
stand.
one issue catches Mike's attention every year, and we all know what that is. It's the one where they paint a bikini on Kate Upton and parade her out. All right, and then let's see. It's an unremarkable game other than that you get to play 2 different sports on one cartridge. Let's see. There's also let's see.
Well, this one should be good for you because it says you'll be picking up first downs right from the start. Because it says it takes a while to master the controls of most football games. So, John, Rich, we found your game.
And then there's a Monday Night Football, like Tecmo Super Bowl for the Super NES. This game is programmed in Japan, and the American staff of Data East didn't even see it until it was all but finished. This is not a good sign, football fans. The action is slow and equally frustrating is the poor AI. So it would be like if you asked me to program a game based on like Japanese folklore, like what would happen? I think it's basically what happened here. So
well, let's see now. We have the you get to fight the final boss, which is a filthy underpan vending machine. And but first you got to get past the molest train.
All right. So. All right. And then
if you can withstand the first level, which is being browbeaten by your girlfriend's father for not having a sufficient job.
And then looks like there's another baseball game called Relief Pitcher made its way to the Super NES with its strength intact from the arcade port. Relief Pitcher features the ability to custom program your pitcher. You can outfit left or right-handed pitchers and give them one of 4 special pitchers, including screwballs and sinkers. Not the old spitball or the bean ball, huh? But let's see. So I guess it's just a game where you only pitch. That's kind of interesting. I don't know. It's very specific, but I'm not that intrigued to play it. And then they just have an...
Still recovering from the 80s. America wasn't ready for a lot of catchers yet.
Wow.
Oh my God. How many of these are John's finishing moves? The knuckleball, the rising fastball, the screwball, the sinker?
Mm-hmm.
But,
and then, let's see. We also... they have a little insert...
A ray of hope.
We have an insert here. The NBA Jam and Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball are coming down the road. So both of those games are actually excellent. So that is good. Let's see. We also have the Billiard Congress of America. Whoa, that sounds like a fun group. Presents Championship Pool. So we have Pool, the game, by Mindscape, and for some reason, Data East also has Side Pocket, another pool game. So
Which has another amazing little gadget on it, like the hooker.
Mm-hmm. The AAA Accurate Angler Pool Cue, which is like a pool cue with a friggin' Geiger counter on it, with the anti-chalk braking system.
So like, I don't know. So AAA Accurate Angler. What's the first A though?
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well. All right.
Oh, it's anti-chalk.
Anti-chalk. Accurate English.
Alright. Well, you guys want to move on to the next game?
It's a pool cue with ABS. Anti-chalk braking system.
Alright. So, Ben, what do we have?
Right.
What do we have next?
Let's move on to Lester the Unlikely here. So
I hate the fact that this guy looks way too much like me.
It's basically like a, I'm a game developer. What if I was in a game instead of just a superhero or a funny mascot cartoon character? What if I personally was in a game? My weak pathetic self. And that is basically Lester the Unlikely. It's a puzzle / platforming game that is extremely frustrating because you're playing as a sloppy developer-looking dude. He's got a hoodie sweatshirt on. He's got big, giant, circular glasses on. How would you describe those? Like John Lennon looking in a magnifying glass?
Kind of like Harry Potter scaled up. Yeah.
Yeah. Wearing like blue jeans and plain white sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got a couple moves. He can run, but if he can also trip and fall, and he can die from jumping off a ledge, which I discovered. He can climb up ledges. He can gently push things over, and he can walk like I don't know how to describe his walk. Take a look at his walk on level 4 over there.
Wow.
Where he's sort of like walking with
It's
like sort of shoulders back.
It's kind of like a trip nerd, like a nerd that's been post wedgie, maybe.
Yeah, nerd gate.
So it's like he's permanently drunk.
Yeah.
Does that jungle lady kind of remind you of you remember the
Katy Perry?
90s X-Men cartoon series?
Right.
They went to the Savage Land.
Okay.
That guy there, his
Kazar.
girlfriend. Yeah, Kazar's girlfriend.
Shana.
Yes.
Jesus Christ, why do you remember that
Little
shit?
obscure reference. I was thinking Katy Perry from the Roar music video.
Also that.
I was thinking Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Shanna the she-devil, huh?
Any kind of
Is
Amazon.
what that's from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Death-
pretty much. But I don't,
Death
that's
by
just what I
Snoo
thought of.
Snoo.
Oh, what a way for him to die. It would be the best way considering everything else that can happen in this game.
The body is weak, but the pelvis is willing, or whatever.
No, it was like, I can't go on. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is spongy and bruised.
It's such a great like Shatner analog. Like, oh my god, I love everything about that show.
It was just pure genius.
Oh god. So the marketing on this game, like they're like, oh, let's make the protagonist like, like a normal video game player. Like, oh god, just I don't know. This game
Considering
makes me
that this
angry.
guy again looks perfectly like me when I was 13, I have to say they fucking nailed it.
It says one day while reading
Yeah,
his favorite
pretty
comic book, Lester wanders onto a dock. He decides to sit. He decides to sit in the
As one does, as I'm walking around reading my comic book, I just happen to wander onto a dock.
What are you
Okay.
doing at the docks? You should be at the
He
library.
finds a shady spot. He dozes off. Little does Lester realize he has fallen asleep next to a cargo crate and is soon is picked up and taken out to sea. Bad luck turns to worse, and Lester's ride is attacked by pirates. The ship is sunk, and Lester swims to shore on an uncharted desert island. So the story begins when our hero awakens on the beach with a soggy comic book and no way home. So yeah, it's if you want to play a game as pretending you're this sort of doofus nerd or a typical stereotypical nerd, this is the game for you. But if you enjoy like jumping off of high cliffs and not dying, and curling up into a fetal position, which is exactly what he does. If you enjoy running and not stumbling over things, if you enjoy a kick that isn't just sort of looked like he's brushing some dirt under a rug, they'd play a different game is what I would say. So they've got different levels here. Obviously, they got the level coverage. What do we have going on here? Oh, you can see what I mean about the kick. Take a look at the bottom,
they tell you
page
what
45.
items you can.
Okay.
Take a look at the bottom of page 45. That's the extension of his kick. When he's
Oh
taking a
Jesus,
statue.
really?
Oh, that's
Yeah, and then at the
terrible.
bottom where he's not actually picking something up, he's pushing it, and that's his push.
I like the one where he looks like he's standing over the laser, and I can just kind of picture him doing like a Billy Madison thing. Where he's just like, oh, yeah, laser.
Yeah, it's like if they made a game where like the protagonist was like a chemo like therapy patient. Like that's kind of what's going on here. Except he still has his hair, so at least he has that going for him.
It's a toupee.
Just everything about this game. I don't know.
No,
For sure.
yeah.
And he's going down the raft, and you can see he's apparently like, as anyone else would, he's staring at the barely clothed Amazon beauty in front of him, completely unaware that death by 1,000 bites is coming for him.
Hey, level 12, you fight Harambe.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, can we talk about this gorilla here?
Dick's out for Lester.
This dude is so ripped.
Yeah, that's a bit ridiculous. It's like he'd give Grodd a run for his money, eh?
Yeah, there's no version of real life where like he doesn't get completely eviscerated by Harambe.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and if you think, like, look down to the warning danger ahead picture. Too,
Oh my
like how
God,
he's
what the-
flinging that. Like,
Yeah.
it's like he's like looking back over his shoulder and being like, "Yeah, my model pose. How you like
Dynamite,
that?"
dynamite. Strike a pose.
Harambe don't want none of this supple ass.
No, Harambe would eat him for
You
lunch.
can have your dick out all you want, Harambe. You ain't getting this.
In level 13, there's like a leopard or something that is chasing you too, which there's no way that...
No, there's no way he's
Yeah.
fast.
That's not even a chase. Tiger jumps out of the tree. Lester looks up, screams, and dead. That's it.
But is it just me, or is there like almost like it looks like there's some sort of like rope or grass thing maybe tied to him or something? Or
It looks like the tiger's
I don't
going
know.
full Tarzan after him.
No, but do you
Yeah, he
see what
was
I'm
swinging on a...
Yeah, it's like the target's trying to carradine himself.
Second time.
I was going to say... Well, that means... You know what Lester has to do now?
His Robin Williams impression?
Oh God, Jesus no!
Oh, too soon. Okay, sorry.
Lovely. Okay. Let's move on from Lester and get into Choplifter 3, the next
That's the
game.
Winona Ryder game, right? Oh, Shoplifter. Okay.
That's a throwback.
Oh,
I like my jokes from the mid-90s.
Yeah.
Celebrity embarrassment episode.
It's like how many goods can you fit in your purse and sneak out of the store? I'd much rather play Shoplifter the game than Choplifter the game. I'll say that much.
yeah, really.
Ben. All right, so
Haven't we talked about previous Choplifter games?
I
I think we
so.
have.
Wasn't it no? There was Cobra. That's the game where you fly a chopper around, you rescue people in a thing, and then you blow open a hatch, and then you explore a cave in your helicopter. Like you're taking a helicopter into a cave.
I don't see any.
I think it's the same
I don't
game.
see any way that plan goes wrong. Yeah, I think I rented this because I liked the Desert Strike game when I was younger and didn't realize it was like a side-scrolling platformer, and so I just like took it back like later that night. I was like, fuck this shit.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Oh no! If you're gonna have a helicopter game back in these days, it has to be top down.
Yeah, go rent Desert Strike or acquire the ROM for Desert Strike and play that instead. It's a much more enjoyable game.
Oh yeah, look at these bosses. They're so neat. Death Tank, where you fight a tank that's about like 3 times the size of your helicopter, and then you fight big guns.
With a Z.
Yeah, that's how you know he's hip.
And there's
And then, yeah, you're right. There's desert caverns. You go into the underworld, Mike. So you go underground and you fight the cavern driller.
you battle the Underminer from frickin' The Incredibles.
It looks like the, Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
The Shredder.
Technodrome
Yeah,
things.
Shredder's ride from the Technodrome. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you fight the Underminer.
And then there's the Halliburton level where you take on the oil refinery. So
And then Death Tank.
and then
returns.
Cheney comes out to battle you like Mecha Cheney.
Cheney.
shooting.
Just got a shot.
Yeah, right. Shoots you in the face. I'd play the shit out of that game.
So yeah, they have Death Tank 2, and then they have Robocopter.
Son of Death Tank.
So
Yeah, Death Tank 2, the sequel.
The definite.
I'd watch Death Tank too.
I would totally watch that. That seems like it would be a movie starring like Richard Bronson.
I think I'd actually rather watch Death Tank 2 than Death Tank 1.
Yeah.
Death Tank 1 is going to be like
Get that
trying
get that origin story.
Yeah, trying.
It's like screw it. Let's just whatever.
It's kind of like Sharknado. They were like kind of half serious with the first one, and then just let it ride on all
the celebrity.
others.
The celebrity budget from Death Tank 1 is gone, so all they have left is just like, okay, we got the origin story out of the way. We don't need to hire the big actors anymore. They know who we are. We can just cheap it out and do it.
Well, like
the first one would be starring like Channing Tatum or whatever, and then the second one they'd be like, screw it, let's get who's
like
the kid from Superbad.
Sorbo and Rob Schneider. All right, let's do this.
Oh my God.
Madison.
I would actually watch
This
that.
summer, Rob Schneider is a
You've seen Schneider as a carrot. You've seen Schneider as a porno mag that was lost in the woods for 18 years. Now he's a tank.
Yeah. Anyway.
You can do it.
Hey,
Fuck
You can blow it. Ah.
All right. So, let me have a feature segment here. Gateway Getaway. It's
I don't know if I'm inside a plane or a compound.
It's inside a plane. And the idea, it was a collaboration Nintendo did with Northwest Airlines. Not Northwest, the child of Kanye and Kim Kardashian.
Nice.
The idea was actually it's pretty ahead of its time. Like there's a lot. I've seen this in a lot of planes like subsequent to this, but they've got a mock-up here of like how it all works. It's like kind of a schematic of there'd be a host computer. Some sort of distribution module, and then like control units built in under the seats that would allow you to have
super cool.
Right, seat back entertainment and or like an LCD that would pop out of the armrest between the seats, and
the controller is for the TV. It's like almost like a Wiimote actually.
Right.
If you pointed at the TV, if in the middle of a Wiimote, it would have your channel up, channel down, volume up, volume down. Looks like there's mute and a couple other things.
Well,
like,
yeah.
The
so what
side of it is just like a Wiimote, except
what they did
A, B, X, and Y.
Yeah, it's got a cable onto it, so there's no. There's no.
You can't walk with it.
Up.
Right, and what they did was they built in the seat controls. Like so, you've got the page, the stewardess button, volume up, channel down. And then they've like included a D-pad and a Super Nintendo control ability into it, and then
and they used emulators.
Yeah, it has
the
to
game
be.
programs are downloaded into a 2 megabyte RAM, so it's not a ROM, unless they're lying.
And then they're saying that this could also be modified to by Lodge. They're looking to modify it by LodgeNet. At only $50 a room, you could put it into hotel rooms. So the idea is like it's scalable across different systems, but they're looking to officially integrate the following list of games: Super Mario All-Stars, Legend of Zelda, Street Fighter II, NCAA Basketball, Super Tetris, Super Play Action Football, Super Soccer, the Pebble Beach game, Super Mario World, and F-Zero. So it's pretty. I mean, if you were on a
so 3 games for Mike.
Cross-ocean flight needed to entertain yourself, like there's
there's more than a few good ones there. The thing that I would like to note, well, 2 things. One, how many planes did this actually get onto? And 2, did anybody ever do the surveys?
The surveys. So it's saying Northwest developed this. It has 42 planes that it wants to do most of its fleet at a cost of $1.5 million for each plane converted. I've been on planes.
Million?
Mm-hmm. That's what it says on page 53 here. Obviously, the cost dropped over time. Would be my assumption. I did see versions of this system on many planes for quite a while, and like I've been in hotel rooms where they had it too, where they would have like a remote controller kind of thing that would have the Super Nintendo controlling ability. Like concerningly late into the 2000s, like into like 2008, 2009 kind of I remember staying at some places that had like old versions of this system in their hotel like entertainment area. So the idea is you can load movies, you can do shopping, there's games, there's like
Language.
Yeah, you can change your language. Also see like what you've bought and paid for and stuff. Because I remember you'd have to like sign up.
So you can already faint and become a very irate passenger
Right.
before you get off the plane to realize how bad you're getting screwed.
Yeah, before they get on, knock your teeth out and drag you out. So anyway, but it's like it is.
So you're saying
interesting write-up.
so you're saying that doctor was a white guy, but then he changed his language to Chinese.
Oh, the screen got all slanty. Anyway, so yeah, like this did end up getting implemented across. I don't think it was just like Northwest.
Just like the shitty walk guy.
Because I never really flew Northwest very much, but I have seen the system elsewhere on other airlines. So this did get traction and was adapted to many different areas over time. So they were onto something here, and it was adapted. Not super widespread, but on a lot of international travel routes, I did see it here and there. So we have that going for us. So anyway. Kind of weird, but interesting in a weird way. Classified information. Do we have anything good?
We have.
You get invincibility codes with Alien 3. You have watch mode with 2020 Super Baseball.
I like to watch.
You can watch. You can watch a computer play itself. Yeah. You can skip stages in Super Turk.
You know what's weird? I will actually do that with baseball games occasionally. Like
You can.
turn it on and let it just enter sim mode where like it just plays two teams against each other. Like I don't do it a lot, but it's kind of entertaining to watch like the computer against itself on occasion. So I actually have done that in baseball games. Maybe I'm weird, but
Well, they have that whole. I forget what game it's for. It's like that Mugen game, where it's just like a live stream all the time of like different bots fighting each other.
Oh really? Huh.
And people like bet money on who's gonna win.
Wow.
I forget what it's called, but yeah.
You can change.
It's like a
Yeah,
fighting.
you can change your color in Run Saber, which neat, and it's so simple too. You just pause the game and press select. Boom! You just change your color.
If only the Ferguson game had that mode, we'd be. Oh, we went there. He went there.
Dude's coming.
You have selected candy bar from
all right,
shopkeeper.
boys, show me your license. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. You can go right ahead.
You have selected
Can I press start select?
reset. I don't like this mode.
I want to change my color.
The police are here.
Okay.
Press Y to put your hands up.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. We had the wrong address.
Push Y to pay your respects at your funeral.
Okay, so then we got F1 Rock 2, Super Engines, Metal Combat Difficulty Select, Alien vs. Predator Stage Select. So you can just skip right to the Queen and I guess like have no preparation or knowledge of anything.
Will they have a sequel like Alien vs. Trump, like the ice game?
And then The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening with Chicken Feed, where you can
You can basically use the flying rooster to navigate to this really difficult to reach area that's over like a little island surrounded by water.
oh shit, you're not feeding the chicken, then you're just flying with it. That's a terrible title. And then
So you can get bonus fighters in Battletoads Double Dragon on the NES version. It just means you get extra lives, I think.
You know,
I was hoping for like additional characters, but no.
this would have been super helpful for me because I didn't own a Super Nintendo ever. It was
Right.
One of the, I think it was actually the only Nintendo console to date other than
That you've missed out on?
the Virtual Boy and the two new, the Wii U and the Switch. Other than
was gonna say you bought a Wii U.
No, I want one though.
He's the one that bought the Wii U. I'm sure they'll be in. I'm sure they'll be in the discount bin soon enough.
And that's why I'm waiting.
Oh, yeah.
I actually went down to my local microplay here in Ottawa, which is kind of like a homegrown EB Games or whatever you guys call it, GameStop sort of thing. Except it's like more of a local feel to it, and like I've been going to this one location for like 25 years since they had an arcade attached to the side of it.
Aw.
Since I like the same place I bought my very first NES game ever.
Wow.
This store, and I went down there and talked to them a week before the Switch came out, and was like, so how much are Wii U selling for right now used? How much are they going down in a week?
Oh, Jesus.
Trying to get like the inside deal on it. But no, this is one of the very few games that I actually remember playing quite a bit of on the SNES, and I love Battletoads and Double Dragon, and the fact that they came together in a game. Oh, like my mind was blown. I was like, this is. What, mom, why do I not have a Super Nintendo? Mom, there's two of them. The two, the double, and the battle, and why don't I have this game right now? Like, it was so mind blowing.
I felt the same. I felt the same thing when I was watching TV and discovered that the Jetsons would meet the Flintstones.
It would be.
Yes, that's true. Actually,
It'd be like if 13-year-old me found out there was like a masturbating and super sugary candy game. Like, my two favorite things. Oh my god!
Oh, Sugar Stroke! Yay!
Sugar Stroke.
Things you can do with Pop Rocks.
That's a good name for the game, Sugar Stroke. All right. Anyway, all right. Are we gonna break here? Or are we gonna go on to the comic? What do we want to do? We're probably pretty long into this part.
I think we should break. Let's break now, and we'll lead with the comic when we come back.
Okay.
So we're going to head out for a break. We'll be right back, guys. I want to thank our guest, Richard Reeder, for coming on. Rich, is there anything you want to plug for us?
If you want to go and check out my Facebook page for my upcoming podcast, it's the Pop Chatter podcast page. Just kind of posting some interesting news articles that I like to comment on, whether it be about a movie or a TV show or something retro or whatever it is. Just kind of posting some stuff there. Until I'm ready to start recording, which hopefully will be sooner than later. So check that out, Pop Chatter Podcast, and that's CHATR.
All right. And I already mentioned where everyone can find us at the top of the episode, so I'll go ahead and sign us out then. Thanks, everybody, for listening. I'm Ben.
I'm Mike.
And I'm John.
And now you're playing with Power.
Entertainment system. Now you're playing with power.
Okay.
Hello?
Oh.
Hey, sound.
Oh.
Hi, yes.
Calling in from the Twilight Zone.
Yeah. You're all going to hate me. You know what the problem was?
Why?
You had the wires inside out?
No. The volume was off on my computer.
Uh,
I was looking at the soundboard the whole time, figuring that it must be the soundboard. And I didn't even think to check if the computer was on mute, because I've actually been using my computer to like watch the playoffs and stuff like that. So yeah, my bad.
Yeah. Something's wrong with your
Right.
sound levels. You're incredibly bassy.
That's kind of the point, but I can turn it up a little or off a little bit.
Yeah. Do you hear the same distortion I'm hearing, Noel?
I'm hearing a little. It's not too bad.
But it's kind of like he's a little talking into his hands like this. Just a little.
A little. Not quite to that extreme. I think it's fine. If he likes it, that's fine.
But
How
again,
about
if we're hearing it a little, imagine how big the source file is going to be when I have to edit it.
That's your problem, not ours.
Sure.
Mike hates me so much.